Hello everyone, I hope you've had a great day so far and that you're doing well. For this video we'll be going through a combined unboxing, time-lapse and review of a fourth blind box from the C01 rollout collection. And this first collection is from the Blokees Wheels line, specifically, trying that again, for Transformers. So for the past few weeks, been going through a single blind box. I've done 3 in the past few weeks. So we've looked at Megatron, looked at Prowl and Swindle. So this will be the 4th blind box of the full collection. One of the faces of the box, just with an image of Rodimus Prime there in this little vehicle mode. We have one of Optimus in his truck mode, and then just pretty much generic packaging, English today. And we do have that breakdown of the split for this particular collection. So we have 3 of those, with plenty more to get. So that was the box side of things, since we've seen it a few times. So I'll crack open the box, pull out the included bag, and try to keep the card relatively hidden, just so I don't know who it is until opening up the bag. Okay, everything out of the box, so what's usually included. So we do get this one bag that has all of the relevant parts, and within the box there will be the instruction and quick little bio card for the actual character, and just that little small plastic bag, well, not even plastic bag, little bag of the little desiccator agent, just to keep the moisture out. Now, as I've mentioned in a few of these previous videos, the card is not generic, it actually is specific to the character. So this is why I've tried to not pull it out so far, because it does ruin a bit of the surprise. So it's definitely one of these, I just don't know which one. So with that being said, let's find out who is actually in this box. And even now I still have no idea, because I haven't even lifted up the bag yet. Okay. I'd say, I believe this is Rodimus Prime. Standard version of Rodimus by the looks of things, not the actual exclusive. So, that being done, so obviously box with that little agent, and here we go with the actual card. So it is Rodimus Prime, and obviously his instructions underneath. Very cool. So now that we know who's in here, basically I will just sort out some of these pieces, and we will jump straight into the time lapse. Okay, with the time lapse now finished, here we have the completed Rodimus Prime in all his glory. So definitely a very nice. I'm fairly certain this is a IDW inspired take on the alt mode compared to what we've seen in the G1 cartoons, but that does look very, very cool. So from the top, from the bottom, his left side, right side, direct front, the back, and just a bit of a angled shot from the front. So overall, very cool representation of the vehicle mode. In terms of colors, so it's predominantly a metallic red, mainly thanks to that one large solid piece that sits on top of the actual vehicle. We do have some very nice red plastic, well, red color as well, with the typical yellow of his spoiler coming through. A darker version of it here on the front with the Autobot insignia, and then some metallic silver on the back just to articulate those exhausts. The exhausts, yeah, we'll just call them the exhausts. Detailing as well. So overall, he does look very, very cool. Even from a detail perspective, I think it actually does look very cool from what you're getting at this particular scale. In terms of what he can do, so each of these wheels will move. So if I take away the card, he will definitely move front and back, not a problem. Now I believe this canopy will also open, except I may not have any nails by which to open it, so I will off screen just quickly grab a toothpick and lift up the canopy. And it looks like we'll go up that far. So the canopy will open and close. So currently now in the open state, there's some detailing in there where you can see a bit of a steering wheel block and some side paneling there as well. Allegedly a small figure can actually fit in that little cockpit area. I don't yet have one of those little figures, but when I do, I'm sure I will try. I know I've got Prowl, who's got a similar mechanism, and I don't know, maybe they'll actually sit within Swindle. So that's open and then close. So yes, that will open and close. You just might need something just to actually get underneath to raise up that canopy. So that is pretty much a quick look at Rodimus Prime in the vehicle mode. As I said, looking very, very cool. So I guess compared to some other recent items we have got, yes, here is Prowl from a few videos ago. So the two together, Prowl and Rodimus Prime, definitely sporting more of a comic book look than the G1 cartoon look, and I will admit it is a very refreshing take for both. So those are those two. In fact, can we just do a quick angle like that? So that is Prowl and Rodimus. Going through some of the other releases within this particular collection. Here is Swindle and Rodimus. And then Rodimus and Megatron. Now, Megatron is always going to have a very large profile because he is a tank. It's quite surprising as well that all of this for Megatron was in one of those boxes. So that is Rodimus against Megatron. Now, you can possibly do Rodimus without a quick look against Rodimus and Optimus. So this version of Optimus is the standalone version of Optimus that comes with his trailer, and because I knew there was a version of Optimus in this collection, I elected to go the smokestack version of Optimus versus the comic iteration. So that's Hot Rod and Rodimus. And just for the sake of completion, here's the G1 stylized trailer. So there's obviously Hot Rod against the trailer, so of course, well, not Hot Rod, Rodimus Prime. He's going to pale in comparison to the actual size of the trailer, which is to be expected. Now, what I can quickly do is, I will also grab out Roller. So there's once again, Rodimus Prime against Roller. Now, here comes the interesting bit. Now, Prowl and Swindle have both fit in the back of the trailer without any problems. But Rodimus has a spoiler. So, if I was to hypothetically, as to be expected, Rodimus Prime has a decent amount of junk in the way that will prevent him from actually going into the trailer, unlike some of the other vehicles, which, you know, is okay. Can't expect him to go into every single one. So that is that. Okay, so with Rodimus done, what are my final thoughts about Rodimus? So overall, look and aesthetic wise, he looks great. The colors are on point. His vehicle mode, even if you hadn't read through the comics, such as myself, you knew based on the colors and the design that it was either Hot Rod or Rodimus. Have no issues with the colors. As I said, the detailing that is there is good for this scale. I mean, you can't really go too overboard with it, but they've done quite well getting that detailing there. Obviously, I like the little cockpit gimmick, and the fact that something can actually sit in there is also very cool. But overall, visually, it does look very, very cool. No complaints there. And once again, it's nice to have some of those little built-in gimmicks. From the card perspective, I mean, this side I usually have no issues with. It is this side that I typically have issue with. I've said it before, and I'll keep saying it again. It is unfortunate that the instructions are this small. Now, for Rodimus, that was probably a bit more of a confusion, which was probably evident in the time lapse. Me not realizing the front and rear tires, wheels, actually are different. And you probably can notice it here as well. So the back wheels are much larger in width compared to the front ones, which are thinner. So what I had done, not realizing there was an actual difference, was I think I did thin, thick, thin, thick. So when I was putting on this component, I thought, that looks really weird. Like you could actually see, whilst this little part of the exhaust went in fine, the actual side looked rather odd. And then that's when I made the unfortunate revelation. The wheels are different. Could that have been made a bit more clearer if this wasn't so small? Probably. It could also just, you know, just sit with me being completely oblivious and not realizing there was a size difference with the wheels initially. So that's my ongoing critique about the instructions, which obviously had a slight boo-boo with the build, but to the credit of the build and everything, it wasn't too difficult to take a step back, put the wheels in the right alignment, put everything together, and obviously everything has come together quite nicely since. So that would probably be my only real critique of the actual model, is the instructions just being a bit undersized, which once again I understand because they are trying to keep it just this small little single back and front card. Aesthetically the card is very nice, but it's just a shame that these are smaller than what I typically have with, whether it be 40k, Gunpla, or anything in play mode, really. So that's my only critique. But otherwise, he's good. It's a shame he can't fit in the trailer, but that's neither here or there. I'll leave it there for this fourth blind box reveal from the C01 Rollout Collection with Rodimus Prime. Feel free to leave a like, comment, subscribe if you enjoy the content. It does help support the channel, and I do appreciate it. Extra content can be found on my Instagram and the community tab when I'm keeping both updated, which I will admit, neither have been kept updated right now, but that will change shortly. With that being said, stay safe and take care, and I'll catch you all in next week's video, which will be the 5th blind box unboxing from this collection. Otherwise, there's plenty of other things on the channel as well. Until the next time, see ya.